Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so sorry we was running a little behind. We had a hard time kind of transitioning between all the different things in the studio and everything. I hope you all are doing well. I'm so excited to be in here with you all. Welcome to all of our new followers, new listeners, and all. We're going to get into this in just a moment. So get comfortable, everyone. And I tell you, this is going to be a great pre post show. I just have to tell you. And we had kind of like a little stability issue with our network for a second, and that's what actually took us a little longer, was because we were trying to get in here to do the show, and there was some kind of connection that it wasn't kind of allowing us in. Where's that necklace of mine? I tell you, sometimes it's just off center somewhere. But it's so good to be in here. Today's show was incredible. So let me get into like saying hello to you all. My name is Sonya LaRae. I am the host of Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, educator, fashion psychologist, holistic health and wellness consultant, and motivational speaker. But I'm always honored to say I am the host of Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. That's live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on our home network of blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle. So today's discussion was powerful. Please make sure you drop your name into the comment box, or at least let me know where you're listening from, what state and all, because I want to connect with you all. Today's discussion now was powerful. It was on that transformative power of resilience. And I have to tell you guys something. This show meant so much to me to do. And I literally get to sit and I think about different things and looking at certain things. Happy Friday. Good to see you here. Nice to see you. Nice to have you here with us. It's good to see you. But this show really kind of had me pondering on this topic. And I have to tell you, sometimes there are some of these topics that I birth that kind of resonate a little different and a little more profoundly with me, because we live in a world that often seems to downplay or overlook um, the significance of resiliency. And I know you're probably thinking, like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's true. Because everything that we see in the media, everything that you see on your Instagram, everything that you see on social media, even right here on this beautiful YouTube channels and all. It's just beautiful. But that's the point. It's always about the success. It never really tells you about the journey or how they got here, or is there something that led them to be in this place and space of resiliency. And I think sometimes when we hear this discussion or we have this discussion, it gets kind of faded. It goes into always talking about the great things that people are doing, the great things that are happening in their life, the smoke and mirrors that are on their page and all. But we're constantly seeing the images of like overnight success. We're constantly seeing the images of like, I just, all these influencers, they just hit the right button, and lo and behold, everybody wanted to work with them. But it doesn't show the real work that has gone into it. And I think that's why I really wanted to bring forward this discussion. And I even have notes for the post show, because there's so much that we didn't get to cover in the show, because, we only have so much time and it's so much information. That's why I've set up that we have a pre show, get you kind of ready and get you primed, and you're salivating for that next, great meal. which is that main course, which is Whispers in a Bottle at 3 p.m. Then this post show is your dessert. It's the dessert of the show. So I want to talk about a couple of things, and I want to start with a story, and a story that may sound familiar because it could be the story of you, it could be a story of me, it could be anything. So let me just tell you, I'm going to just set it up for you. So, once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there lived a woman named, let's say, Sophia. Sophia was an ordinary woman with dreams, hopes, and a heart full of passion. She had always been told that she wasn't cut out for success, that her dreams were too big for someone like her. You're doing too much, Sophia. You're being too extra. But Sophia refused to believe it. She knew deep down that she had the power to overcome any obstacle in her pathway. So one day, life threw her a major curveball. She lost her job. Her relationship crumbled, and she faced a mountain of debt. One bill came in with another bill attached, and another bill attached came with another bill attached. Sounds like life, doesn't it? And that seemed insurmountable. She was just weighed down from it. It felt like her world was crashing. She felt like there was all the air being sucked out, and she was on the verge of just giving up. This, like I said, this could be you, this could be me, this could be anybody that's watching right now, this post show. So, Sarah had something deep within herself that she had never fully recognized before. She never even given it even a slight thought. And that was resilience. What? Yes, resilience. It was about being extraordinary or having superhuman strength. It was about the simple yet unwavering belief that she could weather a storm and come out stronger if she slowly put her mind and soul to it. Oh, we see our heroine. She is getting ready to take on something so dynamic that we talked about in our show today. Through tears, her sleepless nights, she persevered. She didn't give up. She took baby steps, and some of the baby steps seemed like they were milestones to step up to the next step, to just rebuild her life. She found a new job. She learned how to manage her finances effectively. She sought therapy to heal her heart and to not allow the baggage to come in to her new space and place. But with each setback, each hurdle, she dusted herself off and pressed on. And as time went by, right, she said she found out that the power of resiliency is something that is dynamic, something that bubbles so deep within that you don't even know where it stems from. It's almost like a volcano waiting to erupt. See, Whispers, Sarah's story is not unique. It's not even inclusive. It's not something that we don't even hear about. Matter of fact, only person that we've seen some celebrities that really share their journey and share how they've gotten to the top are ones that have taken this journey, who have been knocked, who have been dragged, who was told they weren't enough, who was told that they weren't going to be successful, who was told that there was just really no in sight, and there was no means to an end. But all along, they always kept that vision. They've even, as I told you, they became like that weeping willow tree in our show today, that they bend all the way down. And when they came back up, they had that resiliency. It was something just dynamic about it, because they knew that building that character, building that force and those skills and that tenacity inside of that story had the silver lining, had the beautiful lining that they were looking for. So, in turn, how do we talk to ourselves? How do we start to really kind of oil the wheels that be, meaning the brain? How are we putting it into ourselves that we can have that transformative power of resiliency in our lives? Or is it just something that we say, but we really don't believe it? We don't we don't believe it, we don't know it, we don't see it, so it's like this little phantom. It's like a phantom, like it's like a figment of our imagination. But that's not the case. That's by far not the case. You know, I gave you the example even in my own life. I've been through a lot of things. I've been through things even as a young person coming into adulthood, and even things as an adult that I've been through that I never thought I would go through. But because of resiliency, I'm able to go with that ebb and flow. I'm like that weeping willow tree. I kind of gracefully flow in that wind. And that's what I want to encourage you whispers to do. It's time to change our perspective. It's time to not be afraid to kind of challenge our thoughts. And sometimes as people, we get afraid to challenge the things that, this is how it's been. This is my life. This is what I've done. This is what I've experienced. And sometimes it's hard for us to kind of break free. But I encourage you. I encourage you to really do so, to not be afraid to step out in faith, because sometimes that's all it requires. It's time to embrace resiliency as an essential part of our journey. And I always use that word journey because I always feel like life is a journey. It's not some short distance. It's not some little minuscule kind of moment. It's a full, abundant journey. And if you guys have ever gone on an extension or an extended leave, or maybe you've decided that you want to kind of go and, travel and just nurture your soul, you know that takes time. And when we're doing or moving towards that resiliency, it takes time for us to build these necessary skills. It takes time for us to be willing to even see that we even have these kind of skills. I think I want you all to remember the story that I just gave you. But I also want you to realize that you are valuable. You have worth. And sometimes the things that are in our life that sometimes maybe stumble us, to really kind of look at it for a moment and see a way of seeing what lesson needs to be taken away. And I think this was one of those shows that I sat in a cut, that it was so dynamic and it's so powerful that afterward, when I was getting things ready and situated to come and transition into here. And it's so funny because we had a lot of different little things happening to even get us into here today. And the platform that was, it was already set up. We already set up everything, and we get reminders of what we're doing. It's all set up from like a week ahead. And lo and behold, when we came in to transition into here, we had a problem. But we didn't just say, oh, okay, well, we can't get on, so that's it. You all are waiting for us to come here. You all are waiting for this discussion. You all are valuable, and you want to see, what is she going to say that's so different than what she said 2 shows ago? Meaning the pre-show, the show, and now this one. It's all these things that we are developing, all these things that we're doing and pouring into, and different elements that we're developing in ourselves that we want to have too. So, whispers, I tell you, I want you to remember that you can triumph over trials. You can. You can step over into the green, grassy fields. You can do that. You can even be willing to give yourself the opportunity to step out on faith. Because, see, the transformative power of resilience is dynamic. Remember our definition. I wanted to give that to you again for today's discussion. And what did I do with the show? Sometimes if you can see this office, I got notes plastered everywhere. But the note that I had today, and I wanted to share it again here, was with regards to that definition of resilience. It means the capacity to withstand, to recover quickly from difficulties or toughness. But this is the other thing I want you to realize too, that sometimes with resiliency, it's not so much the quickness that we need to worry about. It's about how are we recovering? Are we partially, but we're carrying all this burden? Are we carrying all this heaviness in our heart? Are we carrying all this anger? Are we sabotaging ourselves? You see how it sounds? We want to be able to really build into the qualities that we want in life. And it's necessary for us to do that. So, I always tell you, we always have such a great time together. We build on such necessary qualities in our life. I tell you, I don't want to take up a ton of your time. It is Friday, but this Friday, I want you to sit for a moment. And I want you to kind of sit in a space and a place of quiet and write down what it would feel like or mean to you to develop such a beautiful quality of resilience, and how that would allow you to thrive. And remember, I told you that word thrive means that we are going to live. So, how are you going to thrive? So, with that being said, everyone, I always want to encourage you all to please follow us on all of our platforms. We have a pre-show every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon Central Standard Time on the Wisdom app. And if you're not on Wisdom, please feel free to DM us the word wisdom in our Instagram page at whispersinabottle_podcast, and we'll send you a personal invitation to join us. Then, if you have questions that you would like me to answer, please feel free to email them in at asksonyalarae@yahoo.com. This is a new segment that we've placed inside of our beautiful e-journal. that comes out weekly. And it's not just about the podcast, it's building on community, it's building on different things inside that we want to pour into and give to you all. We don't want to just be the same cookie cutter that you get everywhere and anywhere else. We want to really pour into you. And I tell you all the time that each episode, each segment, everything that we do, it's almost like that layer cake. Each layer has something scrumptious to offer. And that's what we do here. Then on top of it, we are on Facebook. You can find us at Whisper in a Bottle on podcast. Join the community. We're going to be doing some stuff over there. This season actually is going to open up that we're going to be doing some different things over there that I think that we're even going to be hosting, from what I understand, with my creative director. We're going to actually be having some tea time over there. And it's going to be called Whispers Tea. And it's going to be fun because these are some things that go on in my head, different little discussions. I'm going to have some guests, but it's only going to be broadcast in our Facebook page, in our over there with the Whisperers. So make sure that you're doing that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we have a lot of things that we're going to do. It's even going to be different from what we do here and even on the radio. So get ready for that. It's going to be a good thing. So don't forget, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at blogtalkradio.com/whispers in a bottle. You know who I am. I am your host of Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. My name is Sonya LaRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, holistic health and wellness consultant, and motivational speaker. But by far, I'm always glad to spend my time with you all here in the Whisperers Lounge. Hope you join me again next week for another dynamic discussion. And hey, don't forget to like, comment, and share our page, please. We're trying to grow. We want to build on a community that is going to impact, shift, and change your perspective. With that being said, everybody, please have a great weekend. Be safe. Make sure you check on your loved ones. Do not get into arguments with people. There's so much going on right now, and your life is precious. All right, guys, take care.